Going. Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for February 10, 2021. Roll call.
Val Gomez,
Present.
William Allen, Rena Guzman.
Present.
Okay, we do have a quorum. We have no minutes, no correspondence. First item on our agenda under new business is Resolution 2021-63. A resolution of the Chicago Board of Public Works establishing the terms and conditions for the transfer of certain properties owned by the City of East Chicago to the Department of Redevelopment, which properties are commonly known as 1801 through 1803 Broadway, parcel number 4503-22-303-001, 000-024, 1805 Broadway, parcel number 45-03-22-303.000-024. 1811 Broadway, parcel number 45-03-22-303.000-024. 1815 Broadway, parcel number 45-03-22-303.005.000-024. 1817 through 1819 Broadway, parcel number 45-03-22-303.006.000-024. Whereas prescribed by the manner of disposal and conveyance of real property by political subdivisions, including municipal departments, and whereas such entities may transfer or exchange property on terms and conditions and for zero consideration, and now therefore be resolved by the Board of Public Works of East Chicago that the City of East Chicago shall convey and transfer for $0 consideration the above described real estate as particularly described on the attached quitclaim deed to the Department of Redevelopment. Be it further resolved that the board president be and is hereby authorized to execute deeds substantially conforming to the documents attached, conveying such property to the Department of Redevelopment along with the appropriate sales disclosure form. Are there any questions or comments on Resolution 2021-63 and the accompanying attached quitclaim deeds and sales disclosure forms?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Resolution 2021-63, the accompanying quitclaim deeds and the accompanying sales disclosure forms for the aforementioned properties.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez,
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay. We move on to outstanding invoices. First one we have is from Syntax. Okay, we have invoice. This is from the police department. We have invoice 4065291-844. This is dated 10/23/20 in the amount of $446.23. Explanation from the police department. Please excuse the late invoice. The invoice was not submitted to the service division by custodial staff. Any questions or comments on this late invoice from Syntax?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve payment to Syntax of their late invoice with the police department amount of $446.23.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez,
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have, also from the police department, from Northwest Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, This is an invoice dated, invoice number 1206, dated 12/1/2020. Invoice amount is for $8,700. Please excuse this attached late invoice. The amount due was for 2021 dues. There were not funds to pay this invoice at the time. We needed to wait for the new fiscal year to pay this invoice. That's the explanation from the police department. Any questions or comments?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I can make a motion we approve payment to Northwest Indiana Law Enforcement Academy for their late invoice with the CPD in the amount of $8,700.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
And next we have from Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission from Bus Transit. We have the late invoice number 741 dated 11/2/2020 in the amount of $18. Invoice was in an email dated November 2020 and was overlooked. Any questions or comments on this $18 invoice?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve the late invoice for Northwest Indiana Regional Planning Commission in the amount of $18 from Bus Transit.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have from late invoice from Fissinger and Associates from Engineering. We have a late invoice number 21471 dated 12/1/20 in the amount of $80.80. Explanation, Engineering Department just received the invoice on 2/8/21. However, services have been rendered and the invoice should proceed. Any questions or comments on this late invoice?
No.
There be no further questions or comments entertained. I'd like to make a motion we approve Bissinger and Associates late invoice for $280.80 for the Engineering Department.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have a quit claim deed for purchase of IHB properties. Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad Company, AKA Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad Company and Indiana Corporation. Indiana Chicago Belt Railroad Company. Of Lake County, State of Indiana, conveying warrants to the City of East Chicago, Indiana, a guarantee for the consideration of the sum of $131,000. Represent the land improvements acquired. And the property is property number 45-03-32-504.000.024, which is south of 1117 through 1419 Kosciuszko in East Chicago, Indiana, and additional parcel 45-03-32-504.000.024, which is south of 802 through 1110 West 151st Street in East Chicago, Indiana.
Mr. Gomez?
Yes.
I can shed a little light on that. That's adjacent to Kosciuszko Park, it's abandoned railroad right of way.
Okay.
It's south of the park. So now we could either incorporate into the park or add parking for people who use the park or a trail or something like that.
I think they were discussing trail and parking, like you mentioned.
If I may, it's at least tentative. Part of it is trail, the trail going from Chicago to Michigan City. They wanted to go over the river close to White Oak, but there's so many petroleum lines and other things there that they decided to do it like a right angle rather than the hypotenuse.
Okay. Any questions or comments on this quit claim deed and accompanying sales disclosure form?
None.
There be no further questions or comments, entertain a motion to approve the quit claim deed and accompanying sales disclosure form for the purchase of the IHB properties.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, next we have from Garrett, a request for appeal. We have an email from Scott Hubbard from Garrett. Garrett Corporation is in receipt of final compliance report damages for EC Block Locker Room project. We maintain that our position based on our 1/13/21 formal response and hereby request a prompt Board of Works appeal meeting. Please provide the next available date, time, and any specifics required for presentation at the meeting. So I think, Ms. Morgan, we're going to have to set up a date for this. And
My recommendation to the board is that the board appoint a hearing officer.
Mhm.
And decide, if the hearing officer will hear the case, or the hearing officer and the board will hear the case. Like the hearing officer at the last appeal we had, heard the case and make a recommendation to the board.
Mhm.
So a few decisions have to be made, and then dates selected. I also suggest that in addition to making decisions about the hearing officer, that the board also propose a few dates, and then between the parties, one favorable date to be picked.
Should we refer this to the next meeting so we have time to
I'll
discuss who's going to be the hearing officer, what the procedures are going to be? and-
Right, I think that's a good idea. And we just got this email earlier today, so that we have some time to catch it in this time.
Okay, then why don't we put this on the agenda for next meeting? And in the meantime, Ms. Morgan, you could see if you can get us some information on the hearing officer, who we're going to get, and dates, and so we could make a more valid decision next meeting. Okay. All right, next we come to right-of-way applications. We have Board of Public Works permit applications 21-03746 through 21-0350. Any questions or comments on these permit applications? There being no further questions or comments, I'd like to make a motion we approve Board of Public Works permit applications 21-03746 through 21-0350.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, that concludes our new,
And I have another item, JM Industrial.
oh,
Is that, something
yep, that's the one I
for
forgot.
presentation?
Okay, thank you. Okay, I did overlook this late invoice from JM Industrial Services. This is from the building department. Number invoice 3215. Invoice date 10/22/2020. In amount of $44,000. Explanation: upon speaking with contractor, it was determined that the below invoice was not paid. Work was completed and the invoice should be paid. Any questions or comments on this invoice?
None.
There being no further questions or comments, I can make a motion that we approve the payment to JM Industrial Services for their late invoice to the building requirement of $44,000.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, so now I believe that concludes the new business. We have no other business. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, February 24th, 2021 at 4:30. As that concludes our business, I'd like to make our motion for adjournment for tonight.
Second.
Roll call?
Val Gomez.
Yes?
Rena Guzman.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Board of Public Safety. February 10th, 2021, at 5:30 p.m. May we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, may we have a roll call, please?
Milton Reed,
Here.
Richard Tremzinski,
Here.
Thomas Davis.
Here. Okay, is there a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from January 27th, 2021?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Are there any questions on the minutes? If there are no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have the no correspondence in front of us. The new business from the fire department, reports for January 2021, and the training report for December 2020 and January 2021. Is there a motion to accept the reports from the fire department?
I so move.
I second.
Are there any questions any questions?
No.
If there are no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The building department, there's no one here to speak to this, but it seems like a pretty standard emergency order to vacate 3628 Parish. Is there a motion on this?
I so move.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded to approve the notice of emergency order to vacate 3628 Parish. Are there any questions?
I have none.
Are there any questions? No questions. We'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we will ask for a little more detail. Since this is an emergency, it has to be done right away. We can get a better explanation after the fact, I believe. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-02 4002, Alder Street and release of lien?
I make a motion.
I second.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Any questions? Hearing no questions, we will entertain a vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. There is no audience here for participation. Our regular meeting will be Wednesday, February 24th at 5:30 p.m. If there is nothing else, we will take a motion to adjourn. Mr. Morrisroe, is there anything else?
No, there's not. We get coming attractions if you want a little information. Otherwise, we can table it until next meeting.
Okay, well,
No reason to entertain it.
okay, we'll table that until the next meeting, the coming attractions. I think we're good, right? Okay, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a
So,
motion.
Okay, is there a second?
second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. The meeting is adjourned.